Hey, 42 here. Explorers and archaeologists have uncovered some of the most mysterious sites, markings and riddles that our ancestors left upon the earth. But despite our best efforts, many of them remain mysteries to this day. So here's some of the most mysterious mysteries ever found. The NAZCA lines are a series of ancient geoglyphs in the NAZCA desert in southern Peru. Scholars believe these mysterious markings were created by the NAZCA culture around 400 AD. The designs range from simple lines and geometric shapes to animals, trees and flowers. The geoglyphs were created by removing the reddish pebbles on the surface to uncover the white ground below. The largest figures are over 200 meters across. The NAZCA lines have been preserved for so long due to the extreme dryness and lack of winds on this huge plateau. Changes in weather are extremely rare in this region, and the area is highly isolated, which has enabled these archeological masterpieces to survive for thousands of years. If you think the NAZCA lines are impressive, you will be blown away by the SAJAMA lines in Bolivia. Similar to the NAZCA lines, the SAJAMA lines are a set of gigantic lines carved into the Earth's surface. But the difference is the SAJAMA lines completely dwarf any other geoglyph on Earth. They are roughly 15 times larger than the NAZCA lines. The SAJAMA lines cover an area of roughly 22,525 square kilometers, and the largest are up to 18 kilometers in length. The most mysterious thing about the SAJAMA lines is that they're nearly perfectly straight, which is an incredible feat considering the line's primitive nature and enormous length. Many believe the lines were originally used by indigenous people when they made sacred pilgrimages, and where the lines intersected used to be shrines and burial towers. When one thinks of ancient and unexplainable landmarks in England, Stonehenge might be the first that comes to mind. But there are many more, and the mysterious White Horse in Uffington is a peculiar one of that. The White Horse is a 115-meter figure carved into a hillside. It was created by digging deep trenches then filling them with white chalk. Carbon dating on the chalk suggests it was created in the late Bronze Age, around 700 BC. Beyond this, very little is known about the origins of the horse, including who built it and why. Perhaps the most baffling archaeological mystery of all is the legendary Emerald Tablet, because unlike others, nobody is sure if it still exists, where it came from, who wrote it, or even what it looked like. But researchers have found transcriptions of the tablet's text in 6th century Arabic books. The original text was in the ancient SYRIAC language. It was later translated to Latin in the 12th century, then later into English by Sir Isaac Newton, who had a penchant for alchemy. The text is considered to be the single most important document in the field of alchemy because it supposedly contains the secrets of the Philosopher's Stone, a substance able to transmute base metals into gold. In 1999, a Russian man by the name of Vladimir Kranov called a professor at the BASHKIR State University in Russia named Alexander Shuvyurov because he had found a strange slab buried in his backyard. Little did Kranov know that he had stumbled upon one of the most baffling archaeological discoveries on Earth. The slab was so heavy that it took over a week to unearth. The stone slab was named the DASHKA stone, but later became to be known as the Map of the Creator. This 5 feet tall slab weighs over a ton. The stone contains representations of civil engineering works, weirs, irrigation systems, and powerful dams. A group of Russian and Chinese specialists in the fields of cartography, physics, mathematics, geology, chemistry, and the old Chinese languages researched the slab and identified it as an extremely detailed relief map of the Ural region of Russia. Such maps are used by the military today. Scientists dated the map at over 120 million years old, but specialists argue that it would be impossible for an ancient stonecutter to make such a detailed map, and that it has to have been machined using extremely precise cutting equipment, which doesn't match up with the map's creation date. Some say that the map of the creator is therefore proof of an advanced ancient civilization that also had flight. The map continues to undergo scientific testing and baffles scientists to this day. There is a legendary story of unknown origin that goes like this. In 1938, an archaeological expedition was sent to investigate a secluded area of the BAYAN on the border between China and Tibet. The group discovered a series of caves high up in the mountains. The caves contained a large collection of graves, and the walls were decorated with drawings of people with elongated heads alongside images of the sun, moon and stars. When the archaeologists uncovered the graves, they found skeletons no more than 3 feet tall, with abnormally large skulls. Inside the tombs were also a collection of stone discs. The discs were 12 inches in diameter and had a hole in the centre. They also had a groove on the surface that spiraled outwards from the centre. They came to be known as the DROPA stones. Naturally, the stones were sent to a variety of scholars for investigation. One of them, Professor Sum Ni of the BEIJING Academy for Ancient Studies, found that the spiral grooves were actually a line of characters written in an unknown language. In 1962, Su Un-nu announced that he had managed to translate the language. According to the professor, the stones told the story of an alien spacecraft that crashed in the BAYAN-SHAN region around 12,000 years ago. The occupants of the crashed vessel were aliens called DROPA. The DROPA were unable to repair the craft, so they had to adapt to conditions on Earth. However, the local Ham tribesmen hunted them down and killed them, but many have challenged this story and claim that the DROPA stones never actually existed. And finally, the Shroud of Turin is a linen cloth that bears the image of a man who appears to have suffered physical trauma in a manner consistent with the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. The shroud is wrapped in red silk and has been kept in a silver chest in the Chapel of the Holy Shroud in Turin, Italy since 1578. The cloth itself is actually a negative. The true image is only revealed when the image is inverted and made black and white. Many religious believers contend that the shroud is the very cloth that was placed on the body of Jesus Christ at the time of his burial, and that the imprinted image on the cloth is the face of Jesus himself. However, radiocarbon dating performed on the cloth argues that the relic was actually woven between 1260 and 1390 AD, which is much later than the time of Jesus. But to this day, nobody truly knows where and what time period it came from. Thanks for the view, subscribe for more 42.